Sorry about that. Was a very strange start to the live. Just move this over so that you can see me a little more clearly. I am still on my webcam, which is not the best. It's been a little bit awkward to set up, and yeah, Maisie was sat just here, and then fell off the desk, and used my leg as a way of hanging on. so yeah, so that's why we had a little bit of a moment. So just check whether everything's working on screen. Yep, that looks all right. Turn that down so that you can hear me. You don't hear me twice. Are you all right under there? She's now sat under my desk now. Oh, right. Hello, everyone. How are you? Please say hello if you're joining us for a bit of crafty time. I've had a pretty busy day. In fact, I've had a busy few days, and I'll fill you in on all of my adventures because I've had such a busy, hectic week. I am really glad to just spend a little bit of relaxing time with you guys, doing a little bit of crafting, having a chat. Yeah, it's just a little bit of me time that I get to spend with you all. Do let me know what you're up to this evening. How is the weather with you? I hope everyone's safe and well, because the weather here in Sheffield is pretty bad. It's probably not as bad as it is in a lot of places in the UK. I think we're fortunate that we haven't been hit too hard everywhere, but certain places like Catcliffe have really struggled with it. Catcliffe is only a couple of junctions along the motorway from us here, so we have been fortunate so far. Hello Annalisa, how are you? Hi Laura. So we have been very fortunate here where we are in Sheffield, but yeah, it's been tough for a lot of people out there. So I hope you're safe, I hope you're dry, I hope you're warm, and yeah, and I hope you're here crafting along with me. Let me know what you're up to. So I have got a fun little project planned, little project in mind, which is a personal project of mine that I need to do. My sister-in-law, I guess you would call her, she is my other half's sister, even though we're not married. I still think of her as my sister-in-law. She is getting married in this month, the end of the month, and I was creating some cards for a magazine, which I think you helped with. Well, you definitely did. You may have seen, you may have been here when I made a card during one of the lives that was for that particular feature, and I talked you through some of the requirements that we have when we're asked to do a magazine scenario, and then we put together one of the cards that's going to be in that feature. So I finished all of the other cards off, and all of the cards featured the just married or the you're engaged stamp set, and one of the cards I made was with the just married set, and it featured this church. It actually featured the sentiment in the you're engaged, so I actually will end up using both of these. And I also used the Lots of Love vertical cover die for it. And I made a shaker card with it, and then like a really nice, clean and simple card. And I thought, once I'd made it, I thought that would be absolutely perfect for Laura for the wedding. So I hope Laura's not watching, because sometimes she does tune in. Accidentally, I think. So hopefully she doesn't see this, but I am going to make the card that we give to them tonight, because I think she'll really like it. So I need a few bits of card, but Annalisa's quite right. Annalisa says it looks like I have a goodie bag. I do have a goodie bag. I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing. It's not a very, or unbagging, it's not a very exciting one, but it is exciting for me. And it's exciting for, I think it'll probably be exciting for you guys, because we love crafty goodies, don't we? So yeah, so I thought I'd share this with you before we get started, because I'm probably going to use some of this in the card today as well, potentially. Laura says we've been okay, but the county has been hit quite hard. Yeah, that's the same here, and I will tell you about some of my other adventures this week, but it's not been a fun week this, well, it's not, I mean, it could have been a whole lot worse, but it's just been very tiring, shall we say. So shall we open this up? This is, I'm not going to turn it over because my address is on the other side, but this is an order that I placed with Cult Pens to top up my Copic marker stash. So you guys know I love my Copic markers. I've got a mixture of the Chow and the Sketch, but whenever I buy new pens, I like to buy the Sketch markers because I do love the way that they feel. They last, to be fair, I don't think they last particularly longer than the others, but yeah, they are, I do prefer the feel of them, and you also can see that what you're getting on the end of the pen. So when I've stacked them up, they have the details of what colour it is that's on the end of each of the nibs. Whereas on the Chows, you don't get that, and I've had to put my own little sticker on the end of there, which is fine, but it's just a bit time consuming. So, I mean, there is a big difference in price, so, but you do get more colours in the Sketch as well. So the place I like to get them from here in the UK, and Lisa said, oh, Copics. Shani says, hi, Joe and Tea Time is watching my iPad whilst cooking tea. What are you having for tea? We've just had some, what was it? I can't remember what it was called now. It was some nice like ravioli pasta, like pine nut and something or other ravioli pasta with a tomato and basil sauce, and then some garlic bread with a little bit of cheese on top. It was absolutely delicious. So let's see what we've got in here. So here we go. So that's everything in my packet. So you do get with your order, obviously this is my order details on here, and you also get these little page holders with a little smiley face, little paper clip, which is very cute. So I will keep hold of that because that's really handy to use in my books and my diaries. And then they've wrapped up all of the colours that I've selected. Some of these are replacements, some of these are new to me. And you always get with Cult Pens, they always give you a little sweetie, little pack, either a little pack of sweets or some sort of sweet treat. So they look quite cute. So I shall probably enjoy those later on. To put them to one side. And then these are the colours that I ordered, which again, for a lot of people, this would be very strange, wouldn't it? But I just love this, and I know you guys love all of this too. So, like I say, a lot of the pens that I ordered were replacements, so I'll try and let you know which are replacements and which are new. Shani says, a favourite for me, especially with this weather, bacon, onions and mushroom in a jacket potato with a side of cauliflower cheese. Shani, that sounds absolutely heavenly. I love that. Obviously we're vegetarian, but I do love veggie bacon, so I could just imagine making that with some veggie bacon, onions and mushroom. Oh, that sounds very nice. I'm very jealous of that. So colours that will be replacements will be some of the ones that we use the most. So for me, that is, we've got the warm greys. So we've got a warm grey 1 and a warm grey 0. The N3, neutral 3, cool grey 1. And I said to Anne, I tested all of my pens before I placed my order, because I always do this. And actually my I believe it was one of my cool greys, I think it was my cool grey 0 that is pretty much dead. There's always one that after I've placed my order, I find no longer works. And I think it might be the Cool Grey Zero, but the Cool Grey one will be fine. So those were replacements. I also needed to replace my blender, so I got another blender, so that was another nice replacement. And then also in terms of like ones that I use all the time, are the E-colours. So we've got E11, that was a replacement, E42 and E31. They were big replacements. E44 is a new one, so this is clay, and I do have my little colouring chart here so that I can add the colours in that are new to me. I can add them onto my chart, so I will do that at some point, just to make sure that I'm not ordering things that I've already got. Laura says, why replace instead of refill? Oh, E44 is one of Annalisa's favourites. I tend to do it because a lot of the time when they dry out, the nibs go really hard, and the refills are quite a bit more expensive than the pen. So I tend to just think, well, I'm just going to replace them because it feels simpler. So, and I've not found the refills for everything that I want when I've looked before. That may not be true now because cult pens are very good, but again, I think it's just maybe the cost of it, which I'm sure is probably, it's more cost effective in the long run. But when I'm ordering maybe just 3 or 4 replacements, then yeah, I do just replace them rather than going for the refills. Can't really be bothered with the hassle of doing the refill, I suppose. But you tell me if you think that that is a cost-effective way of doing it, and I may have to look into that next time. The E87, now I do believe that that is not a replacement. Sorry, it is a replacement because I don't think I've ever used this pen, but somehow it has dried out. And like I say, it's got the nib has gone really hard, and it just feels unusable. So I've had to replace that one. And like I said, I don't think I've ever used it. The Y21, that is a replacement, a very popular one. And the BG11 and the I think the YR30 is actually new. R20. I don't think, did I even order R20? I'll have to check that one because that is one that I do already have, and I don't remember ordering that one. So I will have to check on that one because that feels like something that I wouldn't have ordered. And I believe these are all brand new to me. So we've got a Spanish olive, which is the YG97, which looks a really nice colour. YR30, which is macadamia nut. The G19, which is a bright parrot green. G43, which is pistachio. YG45, which is cobalt green. YG21, which is anise. V99 is aubergine, and then YR65, I think that says aloli or atole, and then B26 is cobalt blue. So these are all brand new colours to me that I am very excited to use, and I might just grab this little bit of cardstock and let's have a little look. Annalisa says that she used to get a lot of refills in the past, but it is more cost effective. However, with the newer markers, sadly they go dry more often than the older Copics. They aren't made as well as they used to be. Interested, so that must be why I'm getting some of the results that I am. So this is my cobalt green, and if I compare that to pistachio, oh, that's a beautiful green. This is anise, which is a YG21. Oh, what lovely colours. I've then got the YG97, which is the Spanish olive. And then we've got G19, which is the bright parrot green, and that is a very bright parrot green. Then my other new colours that we've got are YR30. So this is very, very pale colour. It is called macadamia nut, and that is very, very pale, but I love that. Annalisa says B99 is beautiful with R56 and R85. I'll have to try that combination. So, oh, look at that. That is gorgeous. Beautiful colour, that one. So you're saying with an R56 and an R85, R56 and an R85. I'll be very annoyed with myself if I've ordered the wrong colour. So that is R85, and then that is the R56. Oh, I can see where you're coming from there, Annalise. That looks beautiful. I love that. So that's those three colours that Annalise has recommended. And then I've got the YR65, which is, oh, that's a beautiful orangey marigold colour. And then finally the cobalt blue. And I think that's because I got this one in particular because I've got sort of the B28, I've got the B24 and 23, but then not the 26 in between, so that will give me a nice gradient. Lisa says you have to blend them a bit, but they are beautiful. Yes, I didn't really spend any time blending them, but they do look like they would go really beautifully together, so thank you for that tip, Annalisa. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed with myself on the R30. I don't feel like I did order that, but maybe it was one that had gone out of, that I had run out of. I'll have to have a look in my little bin here, won't I? I did throw them all away, so I can have a look in my little bin and see if I threw that one away. Because I do use that blush colour quite a lot, but I didn't think that it had run out. So possibly it has, because I can't see it. I can't actually see it anywhere, so I must have thrown it away. So there you go. So so yeah, so there we go. Those are all of my lovely new colours, brand new. Annalisa says, did you say you got YR30 as I use that on orange tabbies? It's the YR30 is the macadamia nut. Yes, so I did get that one. That's the one that's on the bottom of here, which you can't really see very well on screen because it's such a beautiful pale cream, but I do think that I'm going to use that quite a lot. I do think so. So I'm going to pop them in there because I don't want to add them to my stash yet, because I want to make sure that I've got them all noted down. Actually, I didn't show you the clay, did I? Because Annalise says that that's a really useful one. And this is the fig. So the fig and the clay go quite well together, actually. And that would go quite nicely with the Spanish olive as well. So, oh, I'm very excited about all of these lovely colours. I love new pens. So there you go. So that's my little unboxing to start us off. Shall we make a card and use some of these colours then now? So, like I say, I'm going to use these two sets, and I will start off doing a bit of colouring, seeing as we've been looking at our lovely Copics. So I'm going to start with just colouring in this, if I can get it out of the packaging. Oh, see what I've done there. I've not put my balloons back, and that's why it's got stuck. There we go. So I'm going to use the church. So we need a little bit of cardstock here, don't we? Little cat. Little Maisie is sat here with me. Aren't you? Here we go. And I'm going to use some fun foam as well, but there's not quite enough there. Hello, Maisie. Yes, Maisie is helping as always. So we've got a little bit of cardstock here, but I don't have my image already stamped, but I can stamp it on here, which I think is what I'm going to do. So pop those back in there, and I'll just grab, in fact, I'm not going to use my stamping platform. We're going to do this freehand. Very nice green selection. Yeah, I've gone with the greens because I do use green an awful lot, and there were a few gaps in some of my combinations which I really wanted. So yeah, some Memento Tuxedo black ink on here, and then let's see if we can do a good stamp by hand. Yeah, I know, Annalisa, you're just commenting there about how many of your newer markers went dry before much use. It's really surprised me because they, like you said, they're not cheap, and I've always really loved the Copic brand because they are so much, so much better when they are working. But I have found that lately I have struggled with a couple, and I don't know whether it's because if you don't use them very often, is that likely to be a problem? I think you get used to the stamp positioners, Annalise, you do, because you know they're so much easier, aren't they, to use. And normally I do use them, especially if I'm going to be stamping a lot of images. If it's just one image, then I might be brave and try and risk it. So unfortunately, because I can't zoom in with this webcam, you'll have to bear with me now. And I'm also thinking, what colour shall I do this in? Please may I have this, my little girl? Thank you, very kind. Maisie was just sleeping on this. So I'm just thinking about what colours I might want to use to colour in my my little church. Do I go for like a nice grey church in kind of like as if it's an old stone kind of a church? That might be quite nice. Yeah, I might go with that, and then with a bit of, and then keep the brightness in maybe in the door, maybe have a nice red door or something like that would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Or even blue, because they are having a bit of a blue theme. But I do like the idea of red because I have got some nice little red shaker bits. Let's have a look at my shaker bits. That might help me make my decision. Excuse me. So I did use, which ones did I use? These are the hollow hearts from Lucy's Little Things, and they are gorgeous, and there is a lovely there is a bit of blue in there which is very sweet. I did use some of these Sizzix red hearts in my example, but if we're going to go blue, maybe if I've got anything that's blue, I've got a few blue sequins in there. Got any more sequin bits? Gold. Ooh, got some gold. Gold might be quite nice. Just some gold bits there. I did have some more sequins somewhere. I just can't remember where I put them. Can you remember, Maisie? Can you remember where we put the sequins? Where might the sequins be? No, I've definitely got some somewhere. Probably in one of the very many boxes that I've got all around me. Yes. I've got many boxes of things, as we all do. Yes, I think I might stick with either these little sequins, so pull out the blue sequins in there, and then the hearts from in here to keep it that kind of colour scheme, rather than the red, because I think the red is probably a bit more Valentine's-y. Perhaps. I'm sure I've got some sequins somewhere. I feel like I've even seen them recently, but it may have been at HQ is my concern. Let's have a look. We've got, if it's anywhere, it's going to be in one of these boxes, but let's have a look. Oh, so many things. My sciatica's acting up like nobody's business as well today. But that's another tale to tell you. It's not in there, so I think I'm going to have to give up on that idea for the moment, because I don't really know where they are. How interesting that I think I've seen them recently though, in a drawer somewhere. What's in that drawer? No. Who knows? Sorry there. Claire, hello Claire, how are you? Hi, you're fine. We're only just getting started. We did do a little bit of an unboxing of some markers, and then I just went on a bit of a random hunt for some sequins that I could not find. So we're back without sequins. I do have some silver sequins though, which could work. Silver and blue works quite nicely, doesn't it? And yes, and I've got some more of these cutie pie embellishments here as well. So we might be able to utilize those. So let's not worry about that for now, because we're going to do a little bit of a grey mix. So that might mean I can use my new grey warm grey pens, which I've already lost. Let's have a look, where are we? Warm grey 1, warm grey 0. So, oh, and I do, interesting. And then I do have warm grey 3 here as well. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. So I'm going to just do a little bit of the warm grey, darkest bit, all the way around the outside. I want to keep it quite pale, but obviously my intention is there. So this is going to be like an old grey style traditional building. Sorry, I'm holding that. This is my new warm grey one. I can't actually remember, you know, if I had a warm grey one before, or if I just had. I don't think I had the warm grey 0. That's probably the new one to my stash. Oh, I did actually. I did have them both. So there you go. That's probably why I replaced them both, because I've obviously used them quite a lot It's definitely a colour that I would use a fair bit. And then I think I'm just going to add a few little bits to suggest that there is, I suppose, a little bit of a brickwork going on. Nothing too elaborate or definite, but just to make it look like there's a little bit of stonework. And then for the roof, I want to go for a darker grey, and I think looking at this, the toner grey looks like a really nice mix of colours. So toner 1, 3 and 5. We'll start with the 5, just to add the deepest bits of shadow. But again, I don't want this to be a really dark image. I want it to be quite light. So just a little bit of shadow. So in terms of news, Ant is doing very well. We've had a lovely get well card from a lovely lady that we met at one of the shows, Crafting Live. So that was really sweet. So thank you for that if you're watching. But yeah, he's doing really well. He's making good progress according to the physio. Hello there, Maisie. That was Maisie, if you hadn't realised. So yeah, so we're really thrilled about that. Let me get some of this very pale blue just to highlight these windows. Hello there. Can we help you at all? Oh, hello. Oh, hi. Hello there. This is very nice of you to sit on my picture again. So I'm a little bit leaning towards adding a pop of red, because I think it might just elevate it a little bit, you know, just make it pop. We need a little pop of colour, don't we? So even though I said I wasn't going to do, I am going to add the red. It is all about love after all, isn't it? So hello there. Everyone's saying hello to you because you are so adorable, but you are very much in the way. But I think everyone's watching to see you anyway. They're not really bothered about me. You are too cute. Why don't you come and sit on your chair, and then I can finish my card. What do you think? You're not really interested in that, are you? But if I move this and put that on your chair, you'll probably sit on it, won't you? Well, she's making herself very at home. Oh, aren't you cute? Come on, you're going to have to move though, little one, because you've sat right on my picture, look. Shall I just colour it here on top of you? Or shall I do some die cutting while you just have a rest? Because it's been difficult for you, hasn't it? You've had a difficult day. So while Maisie's just having a little chill, I'm going to see if I can find an A6 card base. They all look like A2 bases to me. I need an A6 card base because my cover die is A6 in size. So, one moment. Just grab a couple of these. So this is my A6 card base. And then I need some cardstock, which I've just seen. So I need a piece of white cardstock. You're not shifting, are you? You've decided this is where you're sitting. So this is the cover die, the Lots of Love vertical orientation cover die, and I am going to just cut this from some of my white cardstock. So I just need a little bit of washi tape. Annalisa says, Luna was so annoying last night when I was trying to craft. She demanded to cuddle in my arms. Oh, that's so... You just can't resist them though, can you? I mean, she's totally in the way. She's covered in glitter, by the way. I don't know where that's come from. She got glitter all over her bum, and she's very much in the way. But does she care? No, she doesn't, because she likes to be involved. Of all three of them, she's the one who likes to be in here with me, don't you? She always wants to be in here. I will have to post a picture of her. She's found a new little bed in here, a little it's actually an IKEA storage bin that I recently just cleared out and emptied. Didn't think anything of it. Next thing I knew, I turned around and she was in it. So I was like, oh right, this is clearly a new bed for Amazing. That was a very satisfying cracking sound from the die cutting machine. What did you think to that? Amazing. What did you think to that? Have a little look at that. Whee. Get rid of those bits. So I always hate throwing these bits away. These are the hearts that are the waste, and I hate to throw them away because they're not really waste, are they? They're beautiful in their own right, and I should keep them. But then I end up with loads of pots of just all of these spare hearts that I then never end up doing. They would probably make nice little confetti pieces, wouldn't they? So Maisie, you have to craft if you sit there. Yes, she's crafting, look. She's don't you dare rip that with those little claws. No. So I'm now going to use this again. I'm going to cut out 2 pieces of fun foam. So I'm going to grab my fun foam here. Here we go. So I've got some of my white fun foam. This is an A4 sheet of fun foam, and I'm going to cut out 2 pieces of this. So I'm going to really kind of butt this up to the edge because I'd like to make the most out of this piece of fun foam that I can. So I'm just going to cut it right up to the edge here because I would really like to use this a bit more. We'll pop this through the machine again. You are funny. Talk about a crafty cat. So here we go. That's one piece there. I'll poke those bits out in a mo. Just remove that one, remove that, and then we can add this to here and just snip that off the top, and then we're going to pop this one through. What do you think? and then that's number 2. So let's put that on there. I can't believe you are taking up all of my craft space. She really isn't. Really isn't moving. Laura says, Theo, the budgie claimed the empty tissue box as his new best ever toy. Don't need to spend any money on him. This is the crazy thing, isn't it, Laura? That you buy all these expensive toys and amazing things, and look, we just want to play with a little bit of fun foam now. That she absolutely loves playing with my washi tape bits that I've used. But her favourite toy actually is here on the floor, and she brings it into the office to play with in here, which is absolutely adorable. No, we don't need to be chewing that though, because that's for me. So I'm going to distract you with your toy. Actually, show everybody what your favourite toy actually is. This horrible little bit of foil. Where is it? It's gone there, look. No. Just have to grab everything as quick as I can. Right, I'm just poking all of the hearts out of here. Yeah, she's gone to pick up her favourite toy, look. She's going to go and sit on her favourite toy. That's it, you play with that. Oh, cats. So you can maybe hear her playing with that now. That's proved as a good little distraction. So we're going to pull all of the waste bits off here. And I need to grab myself actually a nice bit of acetate as well. I'm going to shake a bit. So we've got here some lovely fun foam hearts as well, which again, it just seems such a shame to throw them away. But I don't really know what I would use them for at this stage. So unless I have a specific project in mind at the time, I do tend to unfortunately be a bit wasteful, but you don't have to do the same. So we're going to stack these all together, you see. And I think we were having a debate, weren't we, the other week about how thick your tape needs to be for a good shaker. So this is really the equivalent of 2 2mm shaker depths, shaker tape depths, which then gives you the sort of 4-5mm width, which is perfect for a good shaker. So it does make for quite a deep card. It's quite a chunky card, but the shaker element works so well. So I just need to grab a little bit of acetate. If you can just bear with me one moment, because now I need to find where I've stashed my acetate, because I do know I do have it somewhere. There it is. Oh, I've just got to reach for it. I need my little steps. I think I might be able to grab it. Oh, there you go. Something came flying off the shelf at the same time. Okay, so I don't want a super thick piece. I want this thinner piece here. So I've got two depths. One's like a binder cover depth, which is quite thick, and then I've got some finer pieces. So I just need to figure out which one's which. Yeah, that feels a bit more flexible. So I'll use this. So it's quite a nice, I mean, you're not really going to be able to see it very well, are you? Sorry there. Maisie's sat next to me now. Annalisa says that I was far more patient with her than you were with Luna last night. Well, eventually she just gets bored and moves, so it's not worth it's not really worth fighting about, is it? So I just think, let her just, you know, get over it. She will eventually. So we need to stick these together. So I'm going to use a bit of glue to stick all of this together. So So I'm going to stick my fun foam bits together first and just chuck a bit of glue all the way around the outside and around the middle bits, because we don't want those to become loose, of course. And this, cutting it out of fun foam rather than using shaker tape, is a lot easier when you're doing a shaker, because you're going to make sure that all of your shaker bits are contained properly within each of those wells that we're going to create. Doing this with foam tape would just be horrendous, and you wouldn't get the same effect unless you were to, you know, really spend a lot of time creating the heart shape. So this is definitely the easiest way. So I'm then going to add some of the glue onto my cardstock, and then this is the bit that I'm going to adhere my acetate to, because I can then cut around it. So if I can see it. So I think what's the easiest thing to do is to do it this way around, isn't it? Oh. Be careful of doing that, because you see I've smeared glue. So we want to just do that. There we go. Make sure that's nicely glued in place. Lift that up. See where I've smeared glue on there? I can wipe that off, and I'm going to wipe that off. Oh, it may have dried already. Not to worry. So Maisie has now settled down to have a sleep next to me, because that little adventure obviously wore her out. She's very cute. So yeah, so I've got glue on that other piece of acetate, which is very annoying, but not to worry. I've cut straight across there. This we're going to save because we are going to use that, and I'll show you why in a second. And I'm just trimming around here. Laura's card is probably going to have little bits of Maisie fluff in the shaker, because that's just inevitable. She has put her paw print on this, hasn't she? Her little signature. So thankfully she's not allergic to cats and is a cat lover and has a cat herself, so she will totally understand. So we've now got acetate on the back of here. So when we pop this onto the front of our card, we'll then, the shaker bits won't fall out, of course. Alcohol hand sanitizer cleans up the acetate. Oh, what a great suggestion. Thank you for that. I don't think I've got any hand sanitizer on here, have I? I have got some hand sanitizer. I wonder if it's in my bag. I did buy some more hand sanitizer just the other day, which reminds me of my tale that I need to tell you. So on Tuesday night, I was on my way home in the car, driving along. It was very dark, wet, horrible, lots of traffic, hard to see what was going on. Managed to hit a grate or a pothole of some description, and yeah, got a flat tire basically. So I managed to get myself down the road and pulled into a petrol station. and tried to, you know, see if it just needed a bit of air in the tyres. Tried to sort that out. It wasn't working. It went in flat immediately, again, straight after. And yeah, I was in a bit of a tangle. We do have breakdown cover with our insurance, so thought, well, fine, that's what your breakdown cover's for, isn't it? So let's give them a call, see if they can come and repair the tyre, change the tyre, whatever. So we don't have a spare in the boot. Phoned them up, said, yeah, we'll get someone out to you, but I do need to warn you, it could be 3 hours. And she wasn't wrong, because 4 hours later there was still no sign of anyone. They weren't even on their way, because you can live track where they are. They weren't even anywhere, they hadn't even set off, they weren't anywhere near me. And it was already 10 o'clock at night. So I'd been there for 4 hours. I had obviously needed to go to the little girls' room in that time, and the only toilet was behind the petrol station, and it was the most horrendous sight you've ever seen. It was it was disgusting. It was absolutely vile. I didn't want to touch anything. I didn't want to go near anything. It was so bad. And if I hadn't have been desperate, I would not have gone. But then I immediately bought a giant bottle of hand sanitizer and sanitized everything. And then I was like, I just need to burn all of my clothes as soon as I get home. Oh, well, hello there. I've just realised that there's another cat sat on my foot. So that's Arnie sat on my foot. So yeah, so that was fun, as you can imagine. So in the end, Anne actually had to phone somebody else who would repair the car, repair the tyre, or replace the tyre at the roadside. They came out to me within half an hour, and I managed to get home. But the breakdown service that we pay for weren't able to help me at all. So I'm like, what was the point of paying for that when you weren't able to help? So yeah, they will be getting a complaint and will be cancelled. It was, I mean, it was cold. I didn't dare drink anything because I didn't want to go to the loo again. So that was, so I managed to get a little bit of food from inside the petrol station. But like I say, I didn't dare drink because I didn't want to have to go to the loo. So so I kept putting the you know, starting the engine to try and warm the car up a little bit, but obviously didn't dare have it on for too long. And it was just really miserable. Thankfully, I had got my power bank with me. I'd got my iPad with me, and obviously my phone. So I was able to, you know, chat to Aunt and my mum. I did a little bit of designing on my iPad. I actually got a little bit of work done. Listened to a podcast, and yeah, so you know, I managed to entertain myself for the time that I was there, but it really wasn't. It wasn't fun. So I wouldn't recommend, and I wouldn't recommend the AA if you're getting it through your insurance provider. I don't know whether it's different if you pay for it separately, but through your insurance, it's not worth, for me, based on Tuesday's experience, not worth the money at all. Just not worth the paper it's printed on. You think it's there to keep you safe and just give you a little bit of reassurance that if you ever need it, you know, you're going to have someone to be able to call, and they just weren't bothered, you know. And it was, you know, it was starting to get late, dark, and the petrol station was getting deserted. I was on my own. I mean, it's not a great situation for anyone to be in. Lauren says, we've not paid for breakdown with the bigger companies for years, used a much cheaper one and always been great with us. See, I think that's, you've hit the nail on the head there, because I think that is the way to go, is to go for perhaps an independent or something that's, you know, that's not tied to one of these big companies, because they're not providing the service. So yeah, so they're gonna be getting, when I've got the energy, because I said to Anne, I really want to complain so badly, but I just don't have the energy to deal with it today. I've missed a night's worth of planned work, so I was planning on finishing some projects, and I didn't get to do that because of being where I was. So I had work to catch up on, sleep to catch up on, so as well. So yeah, I said when I've got a bit of energy back, then that's what I'm going to do. So, and it's also aggravated my sciatica, because I've been sat in an awkward position in a, you know, in the car for all of that time. It's not ideal at all. So what you might find when you're using sorry, my head got right in the way there. What you might find when you use the fun foam through your diagonal machine, because of the power of the machine, it can sometimes stretch your foam a little bit. So what I find, you may just have to just do a little bit of trimming so that it doesn't stick out over the edge, because it's just squidged it ever so slightly when it's gone through the machine. And that's just because the machines are so good, the pressure is so firm, it can just, the foam is so, I suppose, malleable that it does sometimes stretch a little bit. So we just trim that down, and now we can die cut our little church. That's the word I'm looking for. You see, I'm still finding that, you know, I am pretty tired, so my words aren't coming out of my mouth as they should. So this bit of card is perfect here for me to stamp my sentiment on. I don't know, actually, can you see on screen? I don't think you can, because of the way that the webcam does bleach out colour quite a bit. Like, there's not a lot of colour on my hands and so on, because it really bleaches the colour out. But the colour of my cardstock that I've been colouring on is very different to the colour of my my cardstock. The cardstock is bright white. The alcohol marker card is more of an off-white. I think it's, I can't remember what it's called now, but it's this is the Crafter's Companion Nina alcohol card stock, and it is an off-white. It's not brilliant white, which is what I normally use. Annalisa says dangerous on your own. Yeah, it could have been. And the guy in the petrol station, I also should put a complaint in about. Where's Arnie gone? I'm sat on my, oh, he's there. Hello. Oh, aren't you two gorgeous? Because he was so unhelpful. I asked him to help me with the air, because I've not done that before, and I know you could probably figure it out, but I was like, is there any chance you could help? And he's like, no, just a no. I was like, oh, great, okay, thanks very much. Got some change to use it, and you were supposed to get 5 minutes of air. So put my pound in, and it lasted for about 30 seconds and then ran out. Right, okay, and it didn't pump up my tyre. So great, where did my 5 minutes go then? So I went to complain and said, it's taken my pound, it's not given me 5 minutes. And he went, well, it's not my problem. I was like, well, it is your problem because it's your machine on your forecourt that's just taken my pound. He went, well, there's nothing I can do. And I said, well, you can give me a refund for a start. And he said, but it's in the machine. I was like, but it's your machine. Honestly, you know, when you just think, what is happening to me this evening? Why is it so difficult to get any help? So yeah, we had a little bit of a debate about whether I should get my pound back. Eventually, he gave me my pound back. And I tried it again, and it although it worked, the tire went flat again. So so then obviously I, you know, phoned the AA, knew I'd got away, went to ask him about the toilets, and again he was just very like, no, we don't have any toilets. And I was like, oh. And then he said, well, there is one round the back, so there are toilets then. So, and obviously then I realised, yeah, it was the toilet from hell. And then, so then I've been sat out there for 3 hours waiting, you know, patiently for this breakdown man to never come. And he came out of the you know, of the shop after I've been sat there for all this time and said, can you move your car? And I said, well, no, I can't move my car. I've got a flat tyre. And he said, well, can you just pull it round the back out of the way so it's not on the forecourt? And I said, no, I can't drive it because I've got a flat tyre. I'm waiting for someone to come from the AA. And he looked at me really, really blankly and confused, like, well, I just want you to move it. And I said, look, they've said that they're going to be here in the next sort of hour or half hour, but I can't move it until then. And the thing is, I wasn't like in the middle anywhere. I was tucked into the side, so I wasn't in anyone's way. Everyone could get past me. There was nowhere, you know, that anyone was going to kind of hit me or anything like that. But yeah, he couldn't really quite get the fact that I couldn't move the car. I was like, oh, could you be any more unhelpful? You know, so, you know, there was no kind of, are you okay, have you got some help, does any, you know, do you need anything? Or there was none of that. It was just, can you just move because you're you know, making the forecourt look untidy or something. I don't know what his issue was. Because like I say, I wasn't in anybody's way and made sure that I'd got out of everyone's way. So yeah, it was just so awful. Alice says everything went wrong for you. Wow, he sounds like a lovely man. And oh my goodness, people can be awful. They can. And just think, if it was any of us, we'd be concerned, wouldn't we? You know, if someone like had pulled up outside where you work and they were stranded, you'd be doing your best to try and help them get back on the road or find some help. You'd be concerned for them. But no, not a single bit of that at all. So yeah, so I thought, I do feel like I should probably make a complaint about that as well, because, you know, and the thing is that I'd also bought stuff from the shop, so I'd had to buy something in order to get change for the air machine in the first place, which took my pound. And then I also bought myself a bit of food and some hand sanitizer because of the dirty toilets. So it also, you know, got my customer. It wasn't like I was just, you know, not providing them with some custom as well. So from a customer service perspective, it was very lacking. Laura says, I worked in a petrol station years ago and this is awful, especially a woman on her own. I know, I just couldn't, there was no, I don't know, there was just no kindness there or empathy or anything. It was very odd to me, because I can't imagine behaving like that with someone, you know, whether, you know, you're a stranger or a customer, you know, you're a person that, you know, was obviously having some problems. Yeah, it was just very odd, and just added, I think it just added to the whole frustration of the evening. I wasn't like it wouldn't have been stressful really or an issue if it was just more frustrating than anything else. Like I wasn't frightened or nervous in that way. Although I can imagine that somebody might have been. But I was just so just frustrated and like I think I was just gobsmacked by it all. A little bit of kindness from him would have gone a long way. It absolutely would. It didn't even if it was just are you okay, or is help coming, it was just, why can't you move? Because my car's broken. I can't move because I mean, the other thing that I was, thinking, does he really think that I wanted to be sat in a petrol station for 3 hours on a Tuesday evening? There's far better places I could have been. I wasn't just sat there for the fun of it. Yeah, it's odd. So that's my little church and my happy ever after. Sorry to go on about my traumatic evening, but it's just sometimes you just can't believe what's happening, can you? So these are my little hollow hearts, and they are really cute. I don't know whether you're going to be able to see them on screen. I did used to have like a little scooper, but I guess this is kind of a little scooper. I might use this just to tip a few into each of the wells. It doesn't need an awful lot. So that these little shaker mixers from Lucy's Little Things, they go an awful long way because you really don't need lots of them. Some more cat fluff. So let's have a little look, see what we've got in each of those. Maybe a bit more. One. Oh, boy. One. Oops. Yeah, I think that looks quite good. What do you think, Maisie? You better not come up here now. Oh, that would be absolute carnage, wouldn't it? Where's your big brow gone? Is he fluffed up? He's fluffed up. Wasn't getting any attention, so he fluffed up. So, like I say, I think I'm going to go with the red to bring out the red that's in the door that we've done. So in here there are obviously these larger hearts, and I did toy with putting those in, but eventually I didn't put the larger hearts in. I went for the smaller ones because in this this little set, this collection here, there are some smaller hearts. So if I tip out some of the bigger ones, I might be able to get to some of the smaller ones. There we go. Get some of these big ones out. And we can see we've got quite a few little tiny ones in there now. So, and I don't want, like I said, same sort of thing. I don't want loads in there. And some of the middle ones will probably be covered up a little bit, so I won't put any in those. any that have sprung out, we'll just poke those back in. So let's get stuck. A little bit more in there. Maybe. That's looking nice. Oh, maybe that one needs a bit more. Try not to keep getting my head in the frame, don't I? Because we've got a bit of a wider angle here. So I think this one might need a bit more actually. When I think about it, let's just add a little bit more into this one. Yes, that's lovely. So now we've managed to get all my little pieces in there. To top this off, I'm going to use some more of my acetate, and this is going to make a little window or a completed piece so that I can then add that to my card base. It's easier to do it this way than try and line my card base up on the back of here, because you will find that that is a bit dodge. Now I could put a little bit of anti-static. I didn't do it on the last one. It was absolutely fine, so I'm not going to do it on this one. I'm going to add my glue again all the way around. Try not to be too mad with the glue because it can squidge through your pieces of acetate. I just tend to do that, so that's why I'm just mentioning it, because it's very easily done. So is my glue even coming out? It's got a little bit fudged up there. I think that's got glue all the way around, hasn't it? Excellent. Got little bits of Maisie fluff. So, oh no, that was fully stuck. That was fully stuck. Thankfully we didn't lose many pieces there. So see these bits, get those back in. If they've got glue on them, get rid, because we don't want them stopping our things sticking together or shaking about. So these ones are going to have to go. What a mistake to make. I blame Maisie. That was your fault, Maisie. And I've got glue on the end of here. Everything's sticking to my fingers. Need a little wipey thing, don't I? So that's not got glue. So it's the other end. Bear with me while I poke all my little bits off that I've got stuck. This is one of the little foibles of dealing with shakers, isn't it? But they are worth it in the end. This is the offending piece of fluff that caused all of the trauma. So the moral of the story is don't craft with cats around. So hopefully my glue doesn't fully dry. I might just have to top it up. certain places. Right, that's everything, isn't it? I think it's like it's just there. There's just there, and that piece of fluff is still there. Goodness, amazing, what have you done to me? It's going to drive me insane, that now, that one piece. I can't seem to grab it either, so I'm going to grab my scissors and trim it. There we go. Oh, crisis averted. Just about. Right, so bit of glue where we've lost a bit. Let's get the back on here before any more accidents happen. So I've got my bit of acetate, and we're just going to pop that straight onto the back of there. There will be a little bit of static resistance, as you can see. There's some bits of fluff showing up on there now, I can see, but that's okay, you won't be able to see it. It will be behind closed doors. Let's remove these little sticky sequiny bits while this is drying. And while it is drying, just to give it a little bit of extra oomph to dry, we'll just add that onto there. And then I'm going to grab my little chamois just to clean my fingers off a little bit, because it's got my fingers all a bit stickied up now with the glue. There we go. That's that. Remove this. This is a very fluffy project, thanks to you, Maisie. But when we turn it over, you can see that we don't have that issue of the fluff on the front, so that's all good. It's all hidden. Let's trim off the acetate. And trim there. Oh, gorgeous. There we go. How cute is that? Love it. Now we've got our card base, so we can add this now to the card base, and when you put the card base behind, you can really see all those lovely hearts popping through. This looks really cute. So, and it's just going to make it so much easier now to add this to your card base, because you can see easily where you're going to put it. So again, glue around all of the hearts. We don't want glue showing through, so we're going to go all the way around each of those shaker wells, and then pop this on the front of our card base and just apply a bit of pressure, make sure that's all stuck in place. Claire says that's so lovely. It's so pretty, isn't it? I mean, when I did it, I was like, oh, I love this so much. Each of those little wells has got a little bit of something in it. Now I can see that there is a little bit of cat fluff in one of those little wells, which is very annoying, and I'm not going to prise it open to pull that out. That is just going to have to be a special little feature of the card, because yeah, I don't think I could even get into that now. Could I? Should I? Oh no, everything will fall out of there if I do. So no, I can't do that. I shouldn't do that, definitely not. So I don't think you can, hopefully you won't be able to tell. Cool. So let's just give that a good press down, and then we've just got to add on our little image here. So our gorgeous little little church. I'm going to use some foam tape to add this on for a little bit of dimension. So chop a bit of this off here. So this is our lovely little church. This is it's a card from all of the family, human and feline. Absolutely, it is definitely from everyone, isn't it? So I'm going to pop that just there, and then we'll use some of the smaller shaker tape to add our sentiment. So I just went off screen there, I think. So that fits perfectly onto there, and then we can just add that underneath. And then the final little bits, I mean, I've not done any white jelly roll, which is unheard of, isn't it? So let's do a little bit of highlights on the roof. And a little on the door and windows. Perfect. And then one of the things that I did do with the other one, that's a special card with help from Maisie that will be treasured by someone. Oh, I hope it is treasured, because I think this is such a beautiful card, such a lovely little idea. It's made just that little bit more special because of the shaker elements. So I just think it is something so different. And I've got some of my glossy accents here, and I'm just going to add that to the windows to make them appear like glass, make them a little bit glossy. So that's finishing those off. And then we've got our little happily ever after, and I think just to finish off the doors, just add a bit of the jelly roll to the door knobs as well. And there we go, that is our finished shake card. And you can never really show the shake on video, because it just looks like me just shaking a card and you can't actually see the bits moving around, but those bits in all of the wells just look so adorable. So there's the finished article. Oh, I love that, thank you. Laura says, do you have something like this cover plate but with stars instead of hearts? And Claire says, do a Maisie paw print and send it to your mum. Oh, that's so cute. She would absolutely love that. So the one that we do for the stars is not exactly like this, Laura. Let me just find it for you. I'm sure I've got one to hand. That's this one. So you could do something similar with this, but it's got the three larger stars. So this cuts out obviously the holes of the stars, and then it's got the stitched lining all around the outside, and you could make each of those stars a shaker well, which is another great idea, which I might have to do for another card. So but doing one similar to this with smaller hearts would also be very cool. So I might have a look at doing that, because I think that would be a really nice little cover die, wouldn't it? But yeah, this will do, although they look solid, they cut out each of those stars in the 3 different shapes. So that's a similar sort of thing, and you could definitely do great shakers with those. Or you can put your little characters inside as well. So that's the Stitched Stars cover plate die, if you want to look for that one. So that's my card for today. I hope you all really enjoyed that, and my tales of woe for the week. Maisie's still fast asleep here next to me, doesn't even know the actual chaos that she created. But it was nice of her to make her usual Thursday appearance. Myself and Maisie will be back next oh, we won't actually be here next Thursday. We are going to a basketball game, which I've never been to watch basketball before, but we got an invite to go and see a game. It's a charity event, so we will be going along to that next week. So that means there won't be a Facebook Live on the Thursday, but I will try and arrange it for a different day instead. So Laura says she'd definitely buy a Star Grid cover plate. Well, that's one sale. But yeah, no, I love that idea, Laura. That's a really great idea. Thank you for that. I will add that to my to-do list. So yeah, so look out for the date for next week's live, as I will try and put it on a different day as we can't do the Thursday, because like I say, this is my favourite part of the week, where I just get to do a little bit of crafting and chat to you guys and vent about the fun that I have with the AA. I will see you all very soon. Have a fabulous weekend, whatever you're up to. I hope the weather stays fine for you and that you all have a lovely time, whatever you get up to. I'm actually going to go and see my mum and dad this weekend, so I'm really looking forward to that, because I've not seen them for quite some time, what with us both being ill. So yeah, so we're looking forward to a little trip out to see them this weekend. So have a fabulous weekend, guys, and I'll see you all again really soon. See you soon, guys. Bye. Bye.